3 takeaways for UNC's 34-30 loss to NC State. A lot of things there, a lot of things we already mentioned.
Yeah.
But the mental aspect of giving up that touchdown late in the game and the onside kick, how do you kind of put that into words? I know you mentioned it a lot now, but we can kind of repeat what we've said given the nature of this broadcast.
I mean, a lot of that also goes into coaching. You have to know situation football. At the end of a game, I mean, at the end of every practice that I can remember, we did situation football. You can't go over every scenario, right?
Yeah.
But there are certain scenarios that typically happen when it comes down to the wire at the end of the game. Onside kick is one. And just being disciplined in your calls and being in the right place at the end of a game, 2, which happened to us. And those are 2 situations where, I feel like, the coaches have to kind of take reins and say, if they did it, I don't know. I'm not at practice, so I don't know if they went through those certain situations. But, like I said, the mental aspect and the team that showed they were more mentally disciplined was NC State, and we showed we weren't there.
Yeah, that touchdown, it's like the fact we're playing press coverage. I know we talk about a lot of press coverage, like, give them some space. Get your safeties back.
The one where Cam Kelly bit up in cover 2, that wasn't press. That was just cover 2.
I'm talking about the first one.
Oh, okay.
Before the onside kick.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like the way that we were guarding that was kind of crazy. Okay, and then UNC, I think another takeaway here, number 2, is just not closing out the game and having the opportunity there. And I think we've seen this a lot this season. It's just like the opportunity is there to take a game and win it. We saw it against a couple other games this season, not closing out games. That mentality, how you approach that, your thoughts on that?
Well, I kind of would disagree because we actually closed out some games at the end of the game.
Wake Forest
and Miami was 2 perfect examples. Like and I was kind of, like you said, I wasn't even worried then. I was like, okay, defense, Jay Bateman's going to put us in a position to make plays. They're going to make the play, and we're going to get out of here with a dub. And at the end of the game, I mean, they didn't make the plays when they were there to be made. And it was a perfect call again by Jay Bateman. Cover 2, they knew they were going to go for a shot. It was there. And the safety, in the box on 2nd and 18.
And I mean, it's kind of how you look at it, but the Pittsburgh game, they closed it out in the second half, but then in the way it kind of wound out in the overtime, didn't close out. But the opportunity was there for UNC to take advantage of that. Yeah. Goes back, we talk about mental and just not making the plays, the onside kick, the touchdown. It's just like, it's how football goes. There's just games where one team makes one play, and that's the complete difference in the whole game.
That's right.
Okay, another takeaway. All right, UNC is 6-6. All right, and this is kind of looking towards the future. 500. Average team last year. I think they were 8-4, 8-5. Weird COVID year. 2019, they were 7-6, I believe. So you go 7 wins, you go 8 wins, and now you go 6 wins. How does that feel as a fan, as an alumni, as a former player?
Well, again, we talk about it on almost every show. It was just more of a disappointing season because of, the hype around all the good recruiting, all the good recruits we've landed. We lost some guys, but we still have guys, and going into the season ranked. Yeah. I think, more of it was just a disappointing season for me personally. But, guys showed flashes. Unfortunately, we had Sam, and, to have him his last year here, I thought we would do a lot more and, come out with a lot more wins. But, I don't know if we're moving backwards because we're still recruiting well.
Recruiting is honestly going better than expected. It's going crazy right now.
Right, I would expect it to have.
They're getting 5 stars.
But we talked about this too. We're getting them in, but are we making those guys better?
Yeah, development.
Yeah,
So look, it's 6-6 now. They could have gotten the 7th win today, be 7-5, and then you get a bowl win, 8-5.
Which would have been an ugly 7. It don't even seem like we won that many games.
On paper,
the way we won.
On paper, 8-5 looks great.
Right.
6, 7-6, 6-7, not so pretty. It's kind of like you look at the numbers year after year. It's kind of regression. So I mean, this could have been a big game. It could have gone either way, and it came down to the last minute or so. that's how you kind of look at the season. It's like, man, this is going to be a huge win, knock off your rival, and now you're looking at a 6-6 season, maybe 7-6, maybe 6-7. It's definitely a disappointment. Yeah, definitely not what we expected. We've been kind of riding the highs and lows here together on this roller coaster of a year. It's crazy games going back to Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, Florida State.
But all winnable games. Like, all games, I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't feel like we were in every game.
Like Georgia Tech might have been like the biggest beatdown.
The biggest beatdown.
Which is wild because...
But we came off a big win. I can't remember who it was.
Virginia.
Yeah, big win. And yeah, I expected us to play a lot different against Georgia Tech.
And you beat Wake, and then you played Notre Dame pretty tough. It seemed like Notre Dame was the better team there, but it's been a wild year.